This is not easy, and anybody that says it is, they're lying to you or they have an unnatural gift at video blogging. Since I started this, I've realized how astronomically hard it is to do. I've gained infinitely more respect than I had previously for all the people that do it so well. One of those people is my father. He has been doing it since 2006, and I think sometimes I forget how long that is, how influential he was on the upbringing of this thing that so many people do to this day. I always kind of had this thing inside me that made me kind of hate YouTube. Not because my dad wasn't around or because there was always a camera in my face. I think I was jealous of his confidence, his ability to talk to the camera like it's his best friend, to connect with millions of people or hundreds of people or thousands of people, depending on what the video was about, who watched it. But there's a lot of things he did wrong that he, got cocky about, and in the long run, it kind of hurt him. He gave up many times. He would be in a way different place than he is right now if he would have just kept going. If he hadn't got distracted and set down the camera and said, "Why am I doing this?" Last night, I was in a spot that I know my dad's been in a lot. A spot that it's hard to get out of. A spot where you're doubting everything you're doing. That voice in the back of your head is saying, "Why are you talking into a camera? What are you trying to prove to these people? I know I want to make a difference, and I know I can, but does that mean I'm going to? Does that mean that I will make a difference, make a change?" Elon Musk has made a change in the world, and he started from nothing. He started as an immigrant in South Africa, and it took him a long way to get to where he is right now. And his goal is to live on Mars. That's not my goal. But I think I can learn a lot from this man. I think that this man is a great role model to have. And if more people tried to be like him, the world would be a lot better than it is right now. Now, there's a lot of bad things in the world. A lot of shitty situations and scenarios that can't be changed. Or at least that's how people view them, It's out of their hands, it's out of their ability, even if it was in, the possible range of, making it happen. I don't think it'll happen in my lifetime. I don't think I'll see it, so, out of sight, out of mind. Well, I watched a video that my dad made with him. We sat and watched it together. And he made it in 2006, and he was talking about the power that YouTube has, how different YouTube was from anything that's ever existed. And I think I didn't realize how powerful it was when it was happening. I was so caught up in my adolescence and my, middle school drama or whatever was, in my life, my first girlfriend, and listening to country music and doing this and doing that. And I had no real understanding that my dad was changing the world, that what he was doing had so much power, so much raw energy, so much potential that unfortunately he didn't tap into all the way. He got so caught up in the success that he started to achieve that it stifled him, and his ego got in his way, and he'll admit to that today. But because of that, he is where he is now, and I am where I am now, and I don't regret it. I think that it all happened for a reason, and that a good story is worth more than, a high number in your bank account. So, life is full of ups and downs. Things happen that you can't predict. Things go wrong. Things are not easy. In fact, the hardest thing is realizing this and keeping a positive outlook. Knowing that in a world of so much disarray, that you still have the same ability you had before you realized how messed up things were, how potent your power is. It's so much easier just to say, somebody else out there is better at doing what I'm trying to do. Their gifts are more prevalent. They have spent more time practicing, more time reading. They've accumulated resources and knowledge that I won't be able to accumulate because I've done this in the past, and this has happened or that has happened. These are thoughts that I was having last night. These are doubts that try to destroy us. They want nothing more than to see us fail. And I don't know what inside us conjures this insecurity, this inability to look into the camera and to speak our mind, to connect with the people that are watching it. Why is it so hard to watch ourselves talk? We talk to people all day. Why is it so hard to watch us talk to a camera on video? It's painful to rewatch my videos, to hear every time I say the word over and over and over again, and look off and into nothing and try to figure out what I'm going to say next, or what I was about to say or trying to say and can't say, the word that I can't remember, the thoughts inside us, they're so vast. How could you expect to capture them with a camera in a few minutes, in a form that somebody else is going to watch and be inspired by, inspired to live the life of their dreams? I realize that people don't have the same dreams as I do, but I do realize that people do have dreams, and that they have roadblocks, just like I do, just like I have, just like I do every day. Every day is a challenge that gets harder and harder. But at the same time, it gets easier because I learn from those challenges. I was sitting right there last night around 11 o'clock, and I hear glass break. Sounded like from inside the house. I assume my dad had broken a candle jar. I walked inside to get a drink of water, and no, I actually didn't even walk inside. My dad walks out here and he says, "Hey, can you come here for a second?" I said, "Yeah." Needs help with something. What's up? He walks in the garage, and I walk in there, and I see glass broken all over the floor. And I say, "Oh, let me get some shoes." And he says, "No, just stop." He says, "Do you know what this is?" He said, "Why did you put this bucket of broken glass up on the top shelf for me to reach and accidentally break?" Fell, and glass went everywhere. Giant shard could have, went into his head and killed him. I'm glad it didn't. Not only did I, create a huge mess from previously having broken 3 jars for candles that were already sold, unpoured, I swept the glass into a bucket and put the bucket on a top shelf that I didn't think anybody was going to touch or need anytime soon. I thought I was the only person that was concerned about the garage, and I was so excited to have my van in there and to, be making some kind of little contribution to my family, making use of my abilities. I like to clean. I like to make things look nice. I was just trying to make a difference, make it easier for them. Well, that's not necessarily true. I was thinking about me, and I was thinking about what I needed to do. I wasn't thinking about who put that there and why. I could tell how mad he was, and I felt really bad. And he said, "It's all right." But he said, "I hope you can learn from this." Well, I can assure you I did. I can assure you that I'm not going to sweep glass into a bucket and put it on a top shelf again. Because I didn't just break glass. There was also some jars that he collected from his Uncle Dorsey, who's senile in a nursing home. He collected these jars that he found buried in the side of a mountain in our family piece of property called Cotton Hill in West Virginia. And I knew I had destroyed something that meant a lot to my dad, when not a lot of things mean a lot to him. This is a guy who has, kept his very first laptop ever made that, filmed all the very first YouTube videos. He's kept it since, 2004, 2005, 2006, whenever he got that laptop, he's kept it until we were cleaning out the garage. He's going through all this stuff and just throwing it away. We don't need this, let's get rid of it. And among these things are his 2 laptops, and he takes them outside and throws them in the trash. And I'm like, what are you doing? It's important. He said, no, it's just a piece of metal. And I knew how much he cared about it. I knew that some things that my mom has said, why are you keeping those, over the years, from house to house, what's so special about them? And she knew why, but she didn't know why. Well, something clicked him, and he was like, well, she's right, I don't need them, screw it. Well, I took it out of the trash, and I'm gonna keep it, because when he's gone, I'm gonna have that to remember him, and I'm gonna make something out of it one day. Not anytime soon. It's unrealistic. I got too much to do, but I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna put it somewhere safe. I might take it with me. I might, build it into a table. Because, yeah, it is just a hunk of aluminum. But it's my hunk of aluminum now. And I don't know. So, started my day out. Not in a very good mood, as you could see. See right here. I was at that was yesterday. I was at about a 3 when I woke up. Based on the fact that I slept in until about 2 p.m. But I stayed up till about 6 o'clock in the morning, so I wanted to get a decent amount of sleep. I didn't want to be tired. The more you notice you do it, the less you do it. You can only be so fluid. You can only gain so much progress in one day. I think that's the reason that I want to give up so much. That I realize that it doesn't happen overnight. I'm waiting to wake up and everything be different, be enlightened, live a whole new life, turn a new leaf, never have any of the old thoughts that I've had that have been holding me back. But that's not how it works. It's not that easy. Things don't just happen. It takes hard work, it takes dedication, it takes focus, and it takes balance. And without those 4 things, and a lot of other things, you're just going to give up, and you're going to go back to where you were. Well, I've given up a lot. I've been reminded of it because I've left these little notes for myself to find, knowing that when I found them, I'd feel pretty pathetic. I'd feel, reminded of the progress I've made and forgotten, I have a tattoo on my arm of the universe, it's supposed to represent everything that's ever existed. The thing that was created by whatever created us, Right next to it is a question mark hidden inside a skeleton key. And the dot of the question mark is a keyhole. That keyhole is, in essence, the little things I leave for myself all around to find. The things that lead me back to the things I've already learned. They're like shortcuts. It's kind of inspiring. I suggest you do it. Because out of all the things I've done that have helped me in the past, think these keyholes are most beneficial. You know, you can't get caught up in all the things you didn't do. You can make excuses as to why you didn't do them, and you can waste all your time trying to convince the people around you that that's true. But that doesn't mean that, you know, you're getting closer. You're just wasting time. If anything, you're getting farther away. I'm not saying to write down all your flaws and hyper focus on what's wrong with you, and you can't get stuck in your head. And it's the place I'm always at, stuck in my head, stuck in my mind. The what ifs, the why nots. Questions are the key to the universe, the key to knowledge, the key to happiness, right? That's what I thought when I got this tattoo. It was like, it's got to be questions. Because if you ask the questions, eventually they'll lead you closer to the answers. And even if you don't get to the answer, you can tell your children the progress you've made. And you can pass on the torch. I'm realizing more and more every day that that's what my dad has been doing. He's been waiting for me to experience enough things in life to fully understand the power of the things that he says and does. To see himself have been destroyed, brought down to, you know, the rubble, rock bottom, bedrock of what the ego and pride can do to you, where it can take you, and the power that lies within us, and our gifts, our abilities. It's a lot of pressure, it's a lot of weight to know you have an ability and a gift to inspire somebody, to change somebody's life. Because when you get caught up in yourself and your mind and these questions, you realize that you're not changing anybody, you're not helping anyone. You're actually hurting one person. That's you. When you hurt yourself, you hurt the people that care about you, that love you. And that's no fun, you know? So, I was gonna make a video last night, and I'm glad I didn't, because I wasn't in a good mind state, you know? I had a nice time towards the end of the night talking with my dad. We got pretty distracted. We ended up kind of reminiscing. I let him vent. I could tell it was good for him, and he needed to get it out. And I was acting like in the moment that I already knew everything he was saying, and I was just, letting him do it for him, but really, I needed it. I woke up today remembering the night before, thinking about, all the things that were in my mind. I went to sleep hoping I would wake up fresh, out of sight, out of mind. Happy, blissfully ignorant. Sometimes I wish for that more than anything. I think the hardest thing about video blogging, at least for me, other than looking in the camera, which is getting easier, is knowing that people are watching you. Knowing that people can hear what you're saying, even if it's muffled and they don't know what you're saying. I mean, my family, is in the other room over there. I mean, I have just this glass between me, and I can empathize being them. I'm simulating things that I don't know are true, Why do we care so much? Why are we so insecure? So afraid? I don't know. Something inside us that wants us to fail. Or it's the thing stopping us from succeeding. There's always another way to look at things. There's always another perspective. If you know there's another perspective and that the other perspective would affect you in a positive way, that would result in you having a happier, more fulfilling, more successful life, wouldn't you take it? Wouldn't it be irresponsible not to? This is something I realized time and time again in the past through reading my older writing and going through these big rants, of things I've said and never posted because I exhausted myself writing them, and I was like, well, that's enough for right now. I'm gonna sit it down and I'm gonna give myself a break. That's the opposite of hard work. Because writing is the easy part. The hard part is what's after that. It's rereading it. It's being faced with who you are and what you are and having to move past the things that you're not doing right and to just keep going. Life is like a roller coaster. Whoever said that the very first time, he was right. I don't know what they said before roller coasters existed. Life is like the waves. It's like the ocean. I don't know if that's a very good example. It's really not. Really, there's no thing that's like life because you can predict a roller coaster's ups and downs. You can see them coming ahead of you. You don't see the things coming in life. So, realizing that the person that said roller coasters are a good example of life, I disagree with them. I actually specifically remember that being said by what do they call it? The valedictorian of my high school in her speech on graduation. She based her whole speech around this thought, and I disagree. Roller coasters are too easy. They're scary. But you're only scared based on fear, irrational fear. Fear that this giant mechanical snake is going to drop you, or it's going to fail after have not failed 100,000 times before this very time right then and there, you're going to... What, Noah?
Do you know the step letters?
Nope, I'm making a video.
Dad's asking for it. That's something on your wall.
Nope. It's under the table.
Under the table?
Yep. Behind the table. I did know where it was. You can't change your environment. I didn't predict he was going to come through there, and I wanted to just yell at him, Why? He wasn't doing anything wrong. He was just relaying a message. That's the thing inside me that just wants to explode when something doesn't go my way. That's not right. That's not logical. And that's negative. I gotta get away from that. I know what I gotta do. Why can't I do it? My dad has recently been doing this thing where he's a life coach on a website called Lyft, and he got a new guy last night who wrote this message that sounded like something I would write, if I was going to get life coached by some guy that, I don't know, seemed like he had it together or was getting it together every day. And my dad predicted that he was going to fail and that he wasn't going to, almost dropped my phone, that he wasn't going to check in for more than 5 days, and past that he would, drop off and you never hear from him again. That's a negative way of thinking, Dad. Why would you think like that? Maybe that guy will check in 5 days. Maybe you should tell him that you think that, and that will inspire him. It'll challenge him to not do it, Because the only thing that's more motivational than fear is like the opposite of fear. It's like you want to prove somebody something. I don't know. It's easier to do something if it's for someone else, it seems like. Because to do something for yourself, that's hard. It's really hard. And you'll find out that when you're alone, you're faced with it. I'm just thinking back to, being in Europe by myself being in the middle of Ireland or Scotland or some obscure part of England, and I'm camping in this little one-man tent that I hadn't set up a single time before I left on my trip. I broke the center rod the first time I set it up. I duct taped it, and it broke about 7 more times during my journey. Incrementally, of course, not just all at once. But the point I'm trying to make is I'm here alone by myself, and I have nobody, no connection to anybody, and I have, you know, food that I had to buy with my own money. You got to really think about what you're gonna do. You know, you gotta try and you gotta fail to learn what not to do again. You gotta carry all the groceries that you just bought, and that's a weight. It rained day after day after day. Certain parts when I was in Scotland, I would set my tent up, and it would just rain, and it would rain, it would rain, and I would sit in my tent, and I would sleep. And when I couldn't sleep, I would lay there, and, you know, I don't even know what I did. There was like hundreds of hours probably with me just sleeping and laying there doing nothing. I knew there was all kinds of things I could do. I could be writing, I could be doing all kinds of stuff, but I wasn't, because it was too easy not to. It was too easy. There was nobody holding me accountable, and I just couldn't do it for myself. Something was stopping me from bridging that gap. I think next time, when I'm out in that situation, I'm going to think real hard about the past times I've been there, and I think I'm going to do better. I don't think that I'm going to do it perfectly. That's unrealistic. Things almost never happen the way you think they are going to. If that was the case, life wouldn't be very fun. Fun is kind of the unexpected parts, and if you realize that and you embrace that, these things stop becoming so shitty and kind of just become part of life. You stop feeling like a victim and you start feeling inspired. You start feeling like you have a power inside you, which it's always been there, but now you're realizing it. So, somewhere right here, I got a journal. I got 2 pages written in it. One of them is some tips on painting. Watch this video on how to paint, and I wanted to remember what I learned. And this next page is what I was gonna use as a guide for this video. And I've said some of the stuff on here, and I'm pretty proud that I haven't had a look at it yet. Now, I'm looking at it, and let's see what I haven't covered yet. Right here. So I remember why I put a 3 for my mood meter today. 3 out of 10. This is a rough topic, and I was going to make this video right when I woke up and talk almost exclusively about this, because it had taken over my mind, and it took me to a dark place. It's pretty terrible. When I was preparing to leave for the first time over the summer, when I moved out of my house with my friends, sold my car, sold my computer, sold my TV, sold my sound system, and pretty much everything to my name, down to the bare essentials. A few boxes of stuff that I got sitting right here. All the stuff to my name. There it is. I got laid out all my necklaces. That's not what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about I sold my guitar to this girl named Morgan. She bought the guitar for her boyfriend. I get a message on Facebook this morning, that I think she had actually sent last night, or while I was sleeping. She asked if I wanted my guitar back, because her boyfriend had killed himself a few days ago. 54 days left until he was out of the military. Served almost 4 years in the Marines. Fought in Afghanistan as an infantry soldier. Might have killed somebody, might have watched his friend die. Something over there, it changed him. On a neurological level, it messed him up. They call it PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, an irreversible side effect the military has on a lot of people. Not just the military. I actually have PTSD from being struck by lightning. And you know who has it worse than I do? My cousins, who were in the same room, sitting right next to me, and they watched it happen. Mine is hearing them scream, hearing nothing, trying to scream myself and nothing coming out. That is fear. It's the top 3 scariest moments of my life, but that's a whole nother story. I don't want to get distracted. Long story short, this poor girl, he didn't leave a note. He blew his head off with the military rifle that was given to him in his car outside of the base. They couldn't identify the body for a whole week. And the moment I was talking to her, she kept saying, I can't accept that he's gone. She then basically said that she didn't even know if it was him. It could have been somebody else. He could have taken somebody's medication and saw somebody in his car and shot them and then fled. I sat and messaged her for about an hour and a half. Just trying to comfort her, give her advice. Do what I know I can. You know, I know I have words inside me that can help people. And so that's what I was trying to do. And so, I don't know what to do. She wants to give me the guitar back because she can't stand seeing it. It makes her think of him. And if anybody out there watching this feels like they have nothing to live for, you're wrong. There are people out there that care so much about you that you can't comprehend. If you're in a bad place, send me a message. I would love to tell you how much I love you. How much you matter. Please. Please pray for her family. Pray to whatever God you believe in. Pray to the universe. But I want you to think when you're praying about them being happy. About them changing people's lives because of what they've been through. Think about them finding happiness and accepting what had happened, and then knowing that he is in a better place, whether he's in heaven or reincarnated into another body, given another chance to live a life that was less painful. His dad was dying of cancer, and he had recently gotten into a fight with his mom, falling out. Imagine what his mother feels like right now. I didn't expect this video to be extraordinarily long, but it's turning out to be that. So, I'm not going to fight it. Sorry, I'm looking at this list. Alright, I'm going to change gears. I'm going to tell a happy story. A story that inspired the hell out of me yesterday. So, I woke up and I had a notification on Facebook. The notification was, I was tagged in a comment on this girl's photo. The photo was her, kind of lifting up her shirt, and she had 2 tattoos. I saw my name and I read the comment, and I'm going to paraphrase it. Well, I'm not even going to paraphrase it. Essentially, she had gotten a tattoo about 1.5 years ago. A little bit more than that. A little bit less than that, sorry. Not even that. Wait. Yeah, wow, it's almost been 2 years since I started my trip. That's so weird. Whew. So, I, was going town to town. I had this plan that I ended up setting on fire on the 7th day of my trip. I hadn't gotten there yet. It was the 3rd day. I was in a town called Cork. Really beautiful town in Ireland. And I was walking, looking for people to, talk to, places of cool graffiti to take pictures of, and I saw these kids that looked like they were my age. I was just kind of walking behind them, and I overheard them talking, and we were like standing waiting for the crosswalk to turn green, and I, do what I always do, I start a conversation with them, and one thing led to another. I ended up joining their little crew to go to a park and sit, and they were going to take me to a place that had some graffiti on a skate park, and I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I want. This couldn't be more spot on to what I'm looking for. And while walking, I was, just answering questions, which got pretty hard later on in my trip, because the questions are generally the same. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? Yeah, it's really hard to talk when there's people in the other room that can hear what you're saying. Like, I want to go outside and sit in my van and not have to worry about what I'm saying, but that's not the realistic situation. So, I basically said to this girl, I relayed a quote that is close to me. We were talking about tattoos, and she said she wanted to get one. I said the words, dream as if you live forever, live as if you die today. I said those words in my last video. This happened right after I made that video. She got those words tattooed on her side 3 days after meeting me. Inspired by what I was doing, the lifestyle I was living, she said it was in this comment explaining to her friends her tattoo and why she got it. She had tagged me after explaining, I met this American guy that was backpacking, and he was taking pictures and meeting people and going with the flow and blowing with the wind, and she said, and that's my dream. So to hold myself accountable to, inspire myself to go through with it and not just say it, she got the tattoo of the words I said. The words that, when you think about them, are really powerful. She never told me she got this tattoo because of me. I could have, been more observant and, have seen it on Facebook. She added me as a friend that day, along with the other kids in the group that were there. But for whatever reason, I was tagged in that comment yesterday morning after saying those words just the day before. it was powerful. It was inspiring to be given that at that very moment. It was almost like a gift that had waited a year and a half for me to fully be impacted by it, you know. It was pretty cool. So, you know, even though we fall down, sometimes we forget how far we've come from all the times we've fallen before that. We've fallen since the day before we learned to walk, and all the days before that. We fall a lot. At least I know I do. My van is still not in the garage. It's still out in the driveway. I haven't finished painting it white. I haven't moved the Honda out of the way. I haven't gotten that done yet. Just wanted to say that. Give you an update of my shortcomings. Only in hope that I will get them done and have this as something to look back on, you know? What I did do this morning is I meditated. Third day in a row. Felt good. Felt like I was kind of getting into it. I tried something new. I played some music. I looked up on YouTube positive meditation soundtrack and pressed play. Set my timer for 10 minutes. I sat some of my most, important crystals around me. I sat one on each knee, and I focused on my breathing. In my nose and out my mouth. Deep breaths. As if every time I inhaled, I was taking all the negative energy, all the bad things inside me, all the poison, all the doubt. And I was breathing it out. I was being cleansed. I was being renewed. I was being charged. Felt good. I watched a video last night with my dad about a monk speaking. Some pretty powerful words. He was talking about a word that I'd never heard before. I'm trying to think what it is. Alteration. Right? Alteration. Yeah, to for whatever reason have this selfless desire to help others when nobody else is looking. Maybe it's, the thing inside you that knows if you do it, it's going to come back to you. Maybe that's not it. Maybe that's, the selfish thing inside me that makes me want to help people unconditionally. But, it may be the only way that I help myself. Sometimes when we try to help ourselves, we end up hurting ourselves. More often than not, this is the case. I wanted to give up video blogging. Last night, I wanted to delete all the things on my channel and film myself only in beautiful environments with my GoPro on a tripod with a planned speech, like very direct, powerful pieces of videography. Things that I know I can do. But I said, why would I do that? Why would I, in essence, fake who I am when I can be true to myself and I can grow vastly faster. I don't know the direction I want to take this channel in. I don't know what I'm going to do next. I don't know what's going to happen next. I've spent a lot of my time in the past trying to assume what's going to happen in the future, trying to control it. Wow. That felt good. I didn't know I was going to say that. Just get some goosebumps. I don't know. Can't really see it. Oh, got a comment on my Facebook photo. Gotta close that. Alright. Oh, I got distracted. What did I just say? Oh, no. Oh, yeah. When we accept that we have no control over the future and we keep going, when we realize we can't control it, it just happens, and that we can react proactively, not reactively, not negatively. We can get better at going with the flow. It's powerful. A great writer, Hunter S. Thompson, killed himself. Another great writer, Ernest Hemingway, killed himself. If you looked at a list of all the great men who have killed themselves, you'd probably be pretty sad. It made me sad. These people were looking at the world half empty. They weren't being positive. If they were, they'd still be alive. Or they would have lived longer. Some of them lived a long time ago. That's pretty much all that's in there. Alright, so the last thing I wanted to talk about, switch gears one more time, because I could, turn the video off, and because it is long right now. I know it's probably 30 or 40 minutes long. Just a few more minutes, I promise. Because I spent all the time laying all this stuff out, which it was kind of already out, but I tried to make it look nice. I wanted to show you guys the jewelry I've been making, that I've been really kind of, I don't even know, putting off showing for one reason or another. I wanted a huge gallery to kind of blow people's minds when they saw it, and I was being unrealistic. I was putting it off because I wasn't ready, but who cares? So I just want to show you guys kind of what I'm doing, how I do it a little bit, how it works, why I think these, pieces of stuff are so cool, and that's it, maybe where I plan to go with it in the future. So, we'll start off. Now, this is not all the stuff I have. I have a lot of rocks. Yep.
You got any cash?
Yeah, why?
You got $100?
You gonna pay me back?
Yeah. Somebody's coming over here to bring us some wood.
I got you.
Some firewood, and I didn't know if I had to run to the bank machine to get cash or not.
Nah, Chase Bank 0 interest loans.
Well, when I heard you got money going every which way to people, I figured, or you could, how much were you going to pay rent again? Huh?
Mom said stop. I have $800 in my bank account.
You're good. You're good for now.
All right. I'll pay you back. Yeah. All right, I'll give it to you. Just I'm finishing this video up right now.
Yeah, we can transfer it back into your account. It'll just save me a trip from having to go to the ATM.
Yeah, just 2 minutes.
Oh, you're fine.
Cool.
Hey, you might want to leave that running. Cousin Billy's coming.
Oh snap! All right, I'm leaving it running then.
No, I don't know when he's going to be here. He says he's on his way.
Well, now I'll
fire it back up.
Fire it back up and use it for tomorrow.
Oh, dude, he's crazy.
There's no way we have to capture.
I'm gonna
right
keep
on.
making a video.
I'm not putting in any of the stuff I took earlier, so.
Okay.
So that's cool.
Yeah, whatever works.
Right on. All right. So I have, this little pile of rocks right here. They're not all rocks. you know, people believe they have different metaphysical powers, that, you know, this is tiger's eye and it promotes confidence. Yeah, you can do all that research your own self. Smoky quartz, this is a piece of wood. It's called bloodwood. I scented it with some fragrance oil. Finister quartz, rose quartz, dragonstone, ocean jasper, selenite, a clock. I got this piece of, oh man, I hope it'll focus. Oh, it won't focus. Piece of lava that my grandparents got me. I have a huge chunk of it, but I just broke that off. I have these moonstones right here. One of my favorite rocks of all time. They light up when it's called a flash in a certain part of the light. Look at that. Beautiful. I have this guy right down here. This is the first one I ever bought at my festival that I missed my sister's graduation to get, which she still resents me for, much less now than she did in the past. But it looks like kryptonite. The back is, I mean, just the coolest rock ever. I can't wait to be rich one day and just have walls made of this. I got this pretty epic thing. I'm not really sure what it is. It changes in different kind of light. I think it could be opalite, which, oh no, well, oh, well, anyways, I got some stuff down here. Man, my camera is doing terrible right now. I don't know what's going on. There we go. Just some bigger things, a giant piece of amber, yada yada yada. Here's the wire I use. I've only been doing this for a few months now, so I'm using what's basically silver infused with copper. It's pretty expensive, 16 bucks for this little thing of wire. Some of them are cheaper. Those are like $5 or $6. I got, you know, the stuff right here it's stainless steel, so it's much cheaper. But yeah, the silver is non-tarnish proof. The silver is more expensive. I actually have some pure silver wire over there, which is really, really expensive. So just a little sneak preview. I'm going to post pictures of these on my Instagram account. I've really been putting that off. I want to list them all in my Etsy shop, but my Etsy shop is in disarray right now. I'm going to redo it. Just one of the things among the 100,000. Got a little keychain thing. I mean, yeah, some people in the comment section said they wanted to see these, and, you know, people think it's interesting, because I do, and, you know, they just want to. So, this is one of my favorite ones I made like a couple months ago. It's ammonite, which there's some really, really pretty colors in the center. That's a pearl. It's a garnet, which has some pretty cool geometric shape to it, all natural. It's a green garnet, that's an orange garnet, and that is apatite, which just the rocks in this alone are about $100 altogether. I've got a fossil here with a piece of rose quartz and a little piece of fluorite in it, and they're all held together by, you know, friction or, you know, pressure of the wires, different various forms of. Got this little lamb ring, pearl, pretty cool rock, just some stone my aunt gave me, wrapped it up. Some of them I have done better than others, more clean, but they're all, what I try to do is just make them really secure. I'm not really focused on them looking perfect. This is the one I made yesterday. If you watched my dad's video, you saw it in there. It took me about 2 hours, which honestly, I could remake it in probably like 30 minutes, but it was more, the time really is spent looking at it. Well, because the way I do this is not how most people do it. You know, most people have like graph paper, and, well, that didn't work. There's graph paper sitting over there. For some reason, my camera is not keeping up. There's some weird setting going on with my lighting. I don't know what's going on. They kind of plan. Oh, and there's some over here. Well, so they kind of like plan out what it's going to look like. You know, like, for example, they will lay out, you know, the stones and the shape that it's going to be, and they know kind of how it's going to come together before they do it. And that's not how I do it. All these, or I would say most of these, are all completely custom designs that I made up on spot. You can look up online how to make pretty basic ones. People don't really show you how it's done because it's, you know, their trade secret. You could learn how to make one like this online, really simple. It's called like a cage method. You basically just get a piece of wire, you know, like a foot long, and you mark where the middle is, and you make some wraps on the bottom, and then you put some there, and you crisscross it at the top, and yada yada yada. This is an instructional video. If you want to know how to make these, I suggest you get a book at the library. You can learn some pretty cool stuff. It's called peacock ore. I have, so here's a moonstone. It's got that beautiful flash in it. I actually have one in my pocket. I can't always have one in my pocket stone. Oh no! Oh, thought I lost it. My fave, which I'm waiting for a really special day to wrap this one up. Till now, just gets carried around. I got this one. I kind of modified a way of doing it that I learned off YouTube. Now, ones like these are much easier because there's actually a hole being drilled through the center. So it's secured in there. There's no way that's coming off. This is a piece of fluorite, snakeskin agate, and I'm not really quite positive what that middle stone is, but the shape is pretty cool. And yeah, this is another ammonite slice. This got a piece of amethyst and some unknown blue stone, tumbled stone somebody gave me. This is one of my favorite pieces. It's another piece of bloodwood that I sanded into a pretty cool little shield-like shape, and I have a piece of pyrite naturally fauceted into like a little 7-sided prism thing, and then a piece of green calcite on the bottom. So the video is an hour long. I'm going to turn it off here now. Oh, I've been sitting down for too long. Ooh, a little bit lightheaded. I know that happens to everyone. When you stand up and you feel like you're about to pass out. That's how I just felt. Oh, and then here's my little meditation set that I sit crisscross applesauce on the carpet. Yeah, something is going on with my brightness. It's like turned down for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Turning it up. That's way brighter, I think. Turn it down. I don't really know what's going on. I messed up some setting in this phone. Well. Oh, and then my very first one I ever made is this piece of smoky quartz that I wrapped up at that first festival I ever went to. Can't even see it. All right. So yeah. Yeah. You know how hard it is for me to stop these videos, so. Peace out, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm gonna make a necklace, and you'll see it tomorrow. It's probably all I'm gonna get done tonight. Who knows? Probably post some stuff on Instagram. If you want to know more about me and you want to read this writing I talk about, check out my Instagram account. If you have one, follow me. It's at Radically Inspired. I post on there more often than I post on anything else. Or you can add me on Facebook. My posts go there as well. I haven't been posting on radicallyinspired.com yet. Still, that's just kind of a big thing hovering over me that I've been putting off. But one day at a time. The only thing stopping me is me. I still don't have it memorized, but for real. Bye.